Let me ask you something. Why do you let the world control your mood? Why do you let a stranger's insult, a missed opportunity, or a moment of failure steal your peace? A master, a true master, is not the one who dominates others. It's the one who dominates himself. Understand this. When you let anger, frustration, or fear take over, you hand your power to the world. You become a puppet, pulled by the strings of outside forces. But today, I'm not here to give you shallow motivation. I'm here to wake you up. You have a power inside you that no one can touch, but only if you learn how to guard it. If you want to become truly unstoppable, you must master the art of acting as if nothing bothers you. Because when you achieve that, you no longer dance to the chaos of the world. The world dances around you. And that, my friend, is when you become untouchable. 1. Empty your cup of reactions. Listen carefully. Imagine you are holding a cup, and that cup is your mind. Every time someone insults you, mocks you, or throws anger at you, it's like they're trying to pour poison into your cup. If you let that poison stay, your cup fills up. It overflows. And once it's full, you have no space left for peace, for wisdom, or for clear thinking. So, what do? You empty the cup. You let their poison drain out before it takes root. You refuse to hold on to their words, their anger, their negativity. You let their insults fall away, like water sliding off a smooth stone. You don't need to respond to every attack or react to every little thing. Why? Because reacting quickly is a sign of weakness. It shows that others control your emotions. But when you stay calm, when you hold your ground and choose stillness, that's real strength. A calm mind is sharp, precise, and powerful. It sees through distractions and doesn't waste energy on meaningless battles. Remember this, you don't have to let the world fill your mind with garbage. You can choose what stays and what goes. Empty your cup often, so you stay light, free, and ready to move with clarity and purpose, not with panic. 1. Empty your cup of reactions. Imagine this carefully. Your mind is like a cup, and every moment, something tries to pour into it. People's words, their opinions, their anger, their frustrations. Some days, people might come to you filled with negativity. They insult you, they challenge you, they throw their frustrations onto you, hoping to see you stumble or snap. But here's the truth you must understand. If you allow every little comment, every rude glance, every hurtful word to pour into your mind, that cup will soon overflow. And when it overflows, it spills out as stress, as overthinking, as anxiety. And suddenly, you are no longer in control. You're drowning in reactions you can't stop. So what should you do? Empty the cup. You must learn the art of letting go. When someone throws anger your way, let it pass. Don't hold on to it. Don't bottle it up. Don't rehearse the insult in your mind over and over again, giving it more power than it deserves. Think of their negativity like rain hitting a smooth stone. It slides off, leaving the stone unchanged. You don't need to fight back every time. You don't need to defend yourself over every little thing. When you learn to not react, you protect your inner peace. People will wonder why you're so calm. They'll wonder why their attacks don't break you. It's because you have mastered stillness. Reaction is easy, but it's a trap. When you react to everything, you scatter your energy in 1,000 directions. But when you stay still, you gather all your strength into one focused point. A calm mind moves with sharpness, clarity, and precision, like a blade that cuts clean, not wild. So today, I want you to remember this. You are the keeper of your cup. You decide what fills it, and you decide what to pour out. Empty the cup of reactions, and you will find you are lighter, freer, and stronger than you ever imagined. 2. Be like water, flow around obstacles. Listen closely. One of the greatest truths I ever discovered is this: water is stronger than the hardest rock. Why? Because water doesn't fight with brute force. It adapts, it moves, it flows around what stands in its way. When you face obstacles in life, people trying to block you, moments that challenge your patience, situations that frustrate you, you have two choices. You can stiffen up, resist, fight every single thing in front of you, burning all your energy, or you can be like water. You can flow, you can shift, you can find another path. Water doesn't argue with the stone. It doesn't yell at the dam. It doesn't scream at the mountain. It simply finds a way around. It keeps moving gently, persistently, without losing its nature. And over time, it can wear down even the toughest barrier. You too must learn this wisdom. When something tries to bother you, an insult, a failure, a setback, don't get rigid. Don't freeze up in anger or frustration. That only traps you in the fight. Instead, breathe, adjust, stay flexible in your mind. Ask yourself, how can I move through this without losing my peace? Without wasting my strength on battles that don't matter? Being like water means staying adaptable. It means knowing that you don't have to control everything. You just have to keep flowing toward your purpose. You don't have to win every argument, prove every point, or defeat every critic. You just keep moving calmly, wisely around the blocks, while they exhaust themselves trying to stop you. Remember, water may look soft, but it's unstoppable. And when you carry that mindset, when you flow instead of force, you become unstoppable too. 3. Control your inner conversation. Let me tell you something most people never realize. The biggest battle you will ever fight is not out there. It's inside your own head. You see, every day your mind is whispering things to you. It tells you stories. It judges the world. It judges you. It says, you're not good enough, or they don't respect you, or you should be angry about this. If you're not careful, you start believing those whispers. You start reacting, not because of what's happening around you, but because of the story your mind is telling you about it. You let your inner conversation shape your feelings, your actions, and your peace. But here's the truth. You can take control of that conversation. You can train your mind to speak a different language. Instead of letting it constantly criticize, complain, or panic, you can make it your ally. You can teach it to say, I am calm. I am steady. I am stronger than this moment. I decide what matters to me. It's not about pretending that you don't feel anything. It's about choosing what voice you give power to. Will you let the voice of doubt, fear, or anger control you? Or will you strengthen the voice of calm, focus, and resilience? Think about it this way. If you allow your mind to run wild, you're like a captain letting the ship's wheel spin out of control in a storm. But when you take hold of that wheel, when you choose your thoughts carefully, you can navigate through even the roughest seas without sinking. You must practice this every day. When you catch your mind whispering negativity, pause, breathe. Say to yourself, no, I will not follow that thought. Replace it with something stronger, something steady. Over time, you will build a mind that no longer spirals into chaos at every challenge, but instead moves with quiet strength. Remember, the mind commands, the body, the emotions, the reactions, they all follow. If you can control the conversation in your own head, you can control the way you experience the entire world. That is the heart of true mastery. 4. Master the art of non-reaction. Let me tell you something that most people completely misunderstand. They believe that strength is about how loudly you can fight back, how sharply you can respond, how quickly you can defend yourself when someone tries to test you. But real strength, real mastery, it comes from non-reaction, from the ability to stand still, calm, unshaken, even when someone is deliberately trying to provoke you. You see, people in this world are always looking for a way to control you, and one of the easiest ways they do it is by pulling at your emotions. They want to push your buttons, trigger your anger, stir up your frustration, and make you act on impulse. Why? Because the moment you react, they've got you. You're no longer leading yourself. They are leading you. Imagine this. Someone insults you to your face, calls you weak, mocks your dreams, or tries to embarrass you in front of others. What do? Most people lash back. They defend. They argue. They raise their voice. They let their blood boil. But in doing so, they hand over their power. They let the other person's words control their emotional state. They become a puppet, not a master. But the one who has truly trained their mind, the one who has cultivated mastery, understands the secret. You don't need to react. You don't need to defend every part of your ego. You don't need to prove your worth to people who are just trying to pull you into their storm. When you practice non-reaction, you hold on to your center. You stay rooted, steady, like a mountain. No matter how fierce the wind blows, the mountain doesn't get up and chase the storm. It stays firm, unmoved. You must become like that. Non-reaction is not weakness. It's not about being passive or letting people walk all over you. It's about choosing which battles are worth your energy. It's about understanding that most things people say or do to provoke you are not about you. They are a reflection of their own pain, insecurity, or need for control. When you refuse to react, you break the cycle. You take back your power. You send a silent message. You cannot control me. You cannot shake me. I am my own master. And do you know what happens? The people trying to provoke you become unsettled. They become confused. They lose their grip on you. But more importantly, you become free. You free yourself from the exhausting habit of constantly defending, proving, or explaining yourself. You free your mind from the endless noise of reacting to every little thing. You gain peace, a deep, unshakable peace that no one can touch. Non-reaction is a daily practice. It's not something you master overnight. It starts with the small moments, when someone cuts you off in traffic, when someone speaks to you rudely, when someone challenges your ideas. Instead of firing back, take a breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this worth disturbing my peace? Most of the time, the answer will be no. And in those rare moments when you do need to take action, you will be doing it from a place of calm power, not from blind emotion. That's when your actions become truly effective, when they come from a clear, focused, and disciplined mind. Remember, anyone can react, but it takes true mastery, true discipline, to choose when to engage and when to let go. Every time you practice non-reaction, you train yourself to rise above the noise. You train yourself to become untouchable. You train yourself to walk through the world not as a puppet, but as a master. So, I challenge you today, the next time life tries to provoke you, the next time someone throws anger, judgment, or insult your way, stand still, hold your center, smile quietly, knowing they have no power over you. That is the art of non-reaction. That is the path to true strength. 5. Feel the emotion, but stay unmoved. Let me tell you something most people get completely wrong. They think that to be strong, you must feel nothing, that you must shut off all emotions, harden your heart, and walk through life like a stone, untouched by anything. But that's not true strength. That's just numbness, and numbness is not mastery. True mastery comes when you allow yourself to feel the emotion fully. The anger, the sadness, the frustration, the disappointment. But you do not let it move you off your center. You feel the wave rise inside you, but you stand firm like a mountain as it crashes and passes. Think about it. Emotions are part of being human. You are meant to feel. You are meant to care. But the moment you let those emotions control you, they take you away from your path. They cloud your mind. They rush your decisions. They scatter your focus. So what's the secret? It's this. When the emotion rises, observe it. Watch it come up like a storm cloud in the sky. Notice the tightening in your chest, the heat in your face, the quickness in your breath. But instead of panicking or trying to shove it down, simply acknowledge it. Ah, I see you, anger. I see you, sadness. You're here. And then, stay unmoved. Don't act on it immediately. Don't lash out. Don't let the emotion drive you. Let it pass through you like wind through the branches of a tree. Feel it, but remain rooted in your calm awareness. This takes practice, daily practice. It means that when someone says something hurtful, you feel the sting, but you don't instantly snap back. When a situation disappoints you, you allow the sadness, but you don't drown in it. You give yourself permission to feel, but you remind yourself, I am more than this emotion. This is temporary. I am steady beneath it. Why is this so powerful? Because when you master this, you gain a kind of invincible calm. You no longer fear your emotions. You no longer avoid difficult situations just to protect your feelings. You can walk into any storm, any challenge, any conflict, knowing that you are strong enough to feel everything and still stand your ground. People will notice this about you. They will see that you don't flinch when things get hard. You don't overreact. You don't break under pressure. And they will wonder, how does he do it? How does he stay so calm? But you will know the truth. You have learned to feel without being controlled. Here's a key reminder. Being unmoved doesn't mean being cold. It doesn't mean you stop caring about people or situations. It means you care deeply, but you don't let that caring destroy your inner peace. You hold both things together, the heart that feels and the mind that stays clear. When you achieve this balance, you become incredibly powerful, because the person who can stand in the middle of chaos, feel every surge of emotion, and still act with wisdom, that person can handle anything. That person is truly free. So practice this. The next time a strong emotion rises, don't run from it, and don't let it control you. Meet it, face it, breathe through it, and remind yourself, you are steady, you are rooted, you are unmoved. This is what makes you unshakable. 6. Practice detachment every day. Let me explain something very clearly. If you want to act as if nothing bothers you, you must understand the power of detachment. Most people are slaves to their attachments. They cling to praise, to attention, to success, to the approval of others. And when those things are threatened or taken away, they crumble. Their mood shifts, their energy drops, their confidence disappears, all because they have attached their sense of peace to things outside of themselves. But here's the truth. The outside world is always changing. One day people will love you. The next they will criticize you. One day you will succeed. The next you will fail. If your happiness, your calm, your strength depends on things you cannot control, then you will live your life in constant anxiety, forever chasing what you can't hold on to. That's why detachment is so powerful. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you walk away from life or stop trying. Detachment means you engage fully with life, but you do not let the results define your inner state. You work hard, but you are not attached to the outcome. You give love, but you are not desperate for it to be returned. You pursue success, but you are not shattered if you fail. Why is this important? Because when you detach, you become free. You are no longer chained to the roller coaster of highs and lows. You no longer let praise inflate your ego or let criticism crush you. You stand in the middle, calm, steady, grounded, knowing that your value, your power comes from within, not from what anyone gives or takes away. Bruce Lee once said, "Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own." That's detachment. You take what helps you grow, you let go of what weighs you down, and you never let your identity be shaped by anything you can lose. Here's how you practice detachment every day. Start with small moments. When someone compliments you, accept it with a smile, but don't let it make you arrogant. When someone criticizes you, listen for the truth, but don't let it sink your confidence. Watch your desires. Notice when you become overly attached to an outcome. I need this to happen, or I'll be miserable. Pause. Ask yourself, why am I giving this so much power over my peace? Let go of control. Understand that you can't control other people's thoughts, feelings, or actions. You can only control your own. Focus your energy there. Reflect daily. At the end of each day, take a moment to check in. What am I clinging to right now? What fear or attachment is pulling me off balance? Gently remind yourself to release it. Detachment is not coldness, it is clarity. It is the clear understanding that you can engage deeply with life, but your core, your center, remains untouched by the chaos around you. When you practice detachment, you become like a tree with deep roots. Storms may come, winds may blow, branches may sway, but you remain firmly planted. You become unshakable. And that is why detachment is one of the greatest strengths you can ever develop. So remember, practice detachment every single day. Train your mind to stay free. Because when you are no longer chained to results, to approval, to outcomes, that is when you can walk through life with true confidence, true peace, and true power. 7. Carry the quiet confidence of a true master. Let me tell you something most people never understand. Real mastery does not shout. It does not need to walk into a room and demand attention. It does not need to constantly prove itself, show off, or seek approval. Real mastery walks in quietly, and yet everyone can feel its presence. When you learn to act as if nothing bothers you, you are no longer controlled by the noise of the world. You carry a different kind of energy, an inner stillness, a calm strength, a quiet confidence that radiates without a single word. And this is what separates a true master from the crowd. You see, most people are constantly trying to show they are strong. They boast, they argue, they react quickly, they puff up their chests when challenged. But all of this noise is a cover for inner insecurity. The one who is truly strong has nothing to prove. He knows his own power. He knows his own worth. He does not need to flash it in front of anyone. Imagine a lion in the jungle. Does the lion need to roar all day to remind everyone he's the king? Number. He walks calmly. His very presence commands respect. He knows exactly who he is. And because of that, he wastes no energy trying to convince anyone. You must become like that. Carrying quiet confidence means you are no longer desperate for validation. You are no longer chasing approval, likes, applause, or recognition. You know your value comes from within, not from the outside world. You trust your journey, your growth, your discipline, and that trust shines through in how you move, how you speak, how you carry yourself. Here's how you cultivate this quiet confidence every day. Walk with purpose. When you move, don't rush or fidget nervously. Walk with calm intention, as if you know where you are going, even if you're still figuring things out inside. Speak less, but with weight. Don't waste your words on unnecessary arguments or empty chatter. When you speak, let it come from a place of thoughtfulness and clarity. People will notice and listen more. Hold your own gaze, look in the mirror and meet your own eyes. Know yourself, be honest with yourself. When you are aligned inside, no one can shake you from the outside. Stay grounded in your values. Quiet confidence comes from knowing what you stand for and living it consistently, no matter who is watching or what others say. People will test you. They will poke at you, hoping to see you break or overreact. But when you carry quiet confidence, you become unpredictable in the best way. You don't take the bait. You smile calmly. You step back. You choose your responses wisely. And over time, people will realize this person cannot be shaken. Here's the beautiful truth. The world respects those who respect themselves. You don't need to shout your strength. You don't need to display your achievements like trophies. You simply need to be steady, focused, sure of your own path. So I challenge you today, let your energy speak louder than your words. Let your discipline shine brighter than your ego. Walk as the master you are becoming, not because you need the world to see, but because you know who you are. When you carry the quiet confidence of a true master, you no longer act as if nothing bothers you. Nothing truly does, because you stand anchored in a place so deep, so unshakable, that no noise can reach it. That is the final mark of mastery, and it's a power you can start building right now with every choice you make. 8. Build the discipline to protect your energy. Every day. Let me tell you something many people never learn in their entire lives. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Not your money, not your time, not even your skills. It's your energy, your mental focus, your emotional balance, your spiritual strength. Because without it, you can't properly use anything else. Every day, countless things are trying to drain that energy. People's opinions, constant distractions, meaningless arguments, unnecessary tasks, inner doubts, regrets, and worries. They all come like tiny thieves, quietly stealing your power bit by bit. By the end of the day, you're left feeling exhausted, scattered, and frustrated. Not because you worked too hard, but because you wasted your energy on things that didn't deserve it. So how do you act as if nothing bothers you? How do you become untouchable in a world that keeps poking at you from every angle? The answer is simple, but not easy. You must build the discipline to protect your energy every single day. Discipline is not just about controlling your body or your schedule. It's about mastering your inner gates. It's about deciding what gets your attention, who gets your emotional investment, and where your mental focus goes. You must become the guardian of your own mind. Here's how you practice this discipline. Learn to say no. You don't need to attend every argument, respond to every message, or prove yourself in every situation. Ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? If the answer is no, walk away without guilt. Limit your exposure to negativity. Stop surrounding yourself with people who constantly complain, gossip, or pull you into their chaos. Your environment shapes your state of mind. Choose it wisely. Control your inputs. What are you feeding your mind every day? Social media? News? Negative conversations? Replace some of that noise with learning, reflection, silence, or meaningful conversations. Protect your mornings and nights. How you start and end your day shapes your energy. Build strong habits, morning routines, evening wind-down rituals that ground you and center your mind. Be mindful of your emotional triggers. Notice when something consistently drains you or pulls you off balance. Don't just accept it. Investigate it. Work to understand it so you can diffuse its power. Discipline is not about making life cold or rigid. It's about creating space. Space for peace, space for creativity, space for growth. When you waste less energy on meaningless things, you have more energy for what truly matters. And here's the beautiful part. Once you build this discipline, people will feel it. They'll sense that you're not easily pulled or shaken. They'll realize that you're not someone they can provoke, distract, or manipulate. You become someone who moves through the world with calm intention, not constant reaction. But understand, this is a daily practice. Just like training your body, you must train your mind every day. It takes conscious effort to hold your energy steady, to avoid old traps, to stay aligned with your highest self. Some days you'll slip, and that's okay. The key is to keep coming back, to keep strengthening the muscle of discipline until it becomes part of who you are. Remember this: the most powerful people in the world are not those who control others. They are the ones who control themselves. When you master your energy, you master your life. So protect your energy fiercely. Build the discipline that allows you to walk through storms untouched. Carry the calm that only comes from knowing you are in charge of what you give your attention to. This is how you rise above the noise, the chaos, the distractions. And this is how you become truly unbothered by the world. 9. Strengthen your mind until it becomes an unbreakable fortress. Let me reveal something most people overlook. All the lessons you've learned so far about calmness, non-reaction, detachment, discipline, they all lead to one ultimate goal: to build a mind so strong, so steady, that it becomes an unbreakable fortress. Think about this carefully. Your mind is where everything starts. Before you feel frustration, your mind interprets a situation as unfair. Before you feel anger, your mind labels something as an attack. Before you feel sadness, your mind attaches meaning to a loss. The mind is the gateway through which everything flows: emotions, reactions, choices, and even your sense of identity. So if your mind is weak, you are weak. If your mind is scattered, you are scattered. If your mind is filled with holes, negative beliefs, fear, doubt, then every outside challenge can break in and tear you apart. But if you fortify your mind, if you train it, sharpen it, discipline it, cleanse it, you create something that no one can touch. You become a person who can stand in the middle of chaos and remain calm, a person who can walk through rejection and failure without losing confidence, a person who can face insults, betrayal, or pressure without crumbling. Here's the key. Building a strong mind is not something you do once. It's not a switch you flip or a quick trick you learn. It's something you train daily, like a warrior sharpening his sword or a monk deepening his meditation. You show up every single day to strengthen it, to test it, to prepare it. Here's how you begin. Watch your thoughts like a guard at the gate. Every negative thought, every fearful whisper, every limiting belief, you challenge it. You don't just let it pass through. You stop it, question it, and replace it with something stronger. Feed your mind with wisdom, not noise. Read, study, reflect. Learn from masters, from history, from philosophy, from your own life experiences. Don't let your mind grow lazy on shallow entertainment and constant distractions. Practice mental endurance. Sit with discomfort. Hold your focus when it's hard. Push through challenges when your old self wants to quit. Every time you do this, you strengthen the walls of your inner fortress. Surround yourself with those who sharpen you. Be around people who challenge your thinking, who help you see blind spots, who inspire you to rise higher, not those who drag you into petty complaints and weak habits. Meditate on your own strength. Take time each day to remind yourself of how far you've come, of the battles you've survived, of the victories you've earned. Build the story of yourself as someone who is resilient, calm, and focused. Understand this deeply. The stronger your mind becomes, the less you need to act tough on the outside. You don't need to posture, to argue, to prove, to show off, because you know that nothing outside can penetrate the fortress you've built within. You walk through life with a quiet but unshakable presence. This is why some of the most powerful people in history were not the loudest or the most aggressive. They were the most disciplined in their minds. They carried a weight, a gravity that came not from force but from inner mastery. And here's the final truth. No one can build this fortress for you. No one can strengthen your mind except you. You must show up. You must do the work. You must train your thinking, discipline your reactions, and fortify your focus, day after day, no matter how you feel. Because when you do, you become something rare in this world. A person who can face anything. A person who can be surrounded by chaos and remain in peace. A person who is not just acting as if nothing bothers them, but who has reached the point where truly nothing can. 10. Transform yourself into a living example of inner mastery. Now listen carefully, because this is the ultimate stage most people never reach. You've learned the lessons, how to empty your cup of reactions, how to be like water and flow, how to control your inner conversation, how to master the art of non-reaction, how to feel emotion but stay unmoved, how to practice detachment, how to carry quiet confidence, how to protect your energy, and how to build your mind into an unbreakable fortress. But here's the final, most powerful step. You must become a living example of inner mastery, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. Why? Because the highest level of strength is not keeping all your wisdom locked inside. It's radiating it effortlessly in the way you live. Understand this. People watch you more than they listen to you. You can talk about discipline, calmness, confidence, and strength all day long. But it is how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you respond, how you face challenge and conflict that teaches them more than any words ever could. When you truly master yourself, you don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to preach or correct or lecture. You become the lesson. Think of the great masters throughout history. Bruce Lee didn't just teach martial arts, he lived the philosophy. Every movement, every look, every word carried the weight of someone who had walked through his own fires and come out sharper. His presence inspired others, not because he forced them to listen, but because they felt the power of his example. To reach this level, you must dedicate yourself to daily, humble practice. Live aligned with your principles. Don't just talk about calmness. Be calm under pressure. Don't just speak of strength. Demonstrate it through restraint. Don't just value focus. Show it in your actions, your habits, your choices. Be the steady one in the storm. When others around you lose their heads, you hold your ground. When chaos erupts, you remain centered. When tempers flare, you keep your cool. People will start to look to you. Not because you demanded it, but because your mastery is magnetic. Lift others through your presence. A true master doesn't just focus on his own strength. He uplifts the room, the team, the family, the community. Your calmness helps calm others. Your clarity inspires clearer thinking. Your resilience gives others quiet permission to be stronger themselves. Stay humble in your growth. Even as you evolve, remember, mastery is a lifelong journey, not a final destination. Every day you are learning, refining, sharpening. You are not above anyone. You are simply walking your path with intention and discipline. Here's the powerful truth. When you embody all these lessons, you stop needing to act as if nothing bothers you, because at your core, you have become someone who is genuinely unbothered. You don't fake calm. You are calm. You don't fake strength. You are strong. You don't fake confidence. You are confident. And that kind of presence changes everything. People feel it when you enter a room. Challenges feel lighter because you carry grounded energy. Life's ups and downs no longer control you because you live from a place of deep inner mastery. So I challenge you today. Don't just collect these lessons like trophies. Live them. Embody them. Let the world see what is possible when a human being fully commits to mastering themselves from the inside out. Because when you become that living example, you are no longer just improving your own life. You are shaping the world around you, one calm, powerful, unshakable moment at a time. 11. Remember, true mastery is a lifelong journey, not a destination. Now listen closely, because this is the truth that humbles even the greatest masters. There is no finish line on the path of self-mastery. Many people think, once I become calm enough, strong enough, confident enough, detached enough, then I'll be done. Then life will no longer challenge me. Then I can finally relax and coast. But this thinking is an illusion. Mastery is not a final goal you cross. It is a lifelong journey you walk, step by step, every single day, for as long as you live. Why? Because life itself never stops moving. New challenges will come, new doubts will arise. New levels of success will bring new pressures. Old wounds will resurface when you least expect them. You will face moments of weakness, frustration, sadness, and anger again and again, no matter how much you've grown. But here's the beauty. The point is not to escape challenge. The point is to grow stronger through it. The point is to deepen your calm, sharpen your discipline, and refine your awareness over a lifetime, so that each time life tests you, you meet it with greater wisdom, greater strength, and greater grace than before. Think of a great martial artist. Do they stop training once they earn their black belt? No, they train harder, with even more focus. Why? Because they understand that mastery is a practice, not a title. The moment they stop sharpening their skills, they begin to lose them. You must approach your mind, your emotions, your energy in the same way. Here's how to carry this mindset. Stay humble. No matter how far you come, remember that you are always a student. Life is your teacher, and every experience, good or bad, holds a lesson if you are willing to see it. Keep refining. Even when you've reached a level of calm, ask yourself, how can I deepen this even further? Even when you've strengthened your focus, ask, how can I sharpen it even more? Growth never ends. Embrace discomfort. Growth happens when you step outside the comfortable routines of your life. Seek out challenges. Put yourself in situations that stretch you, humble you, and force you to rise higher. Forgive your stumbles. You will slip. You will fall back into old habits, lose your temper, waste your energy, react when you should have stayed still. That's part of the journey. What matters is that you get back up, reflect, and return to your practice. Celebrate the process, not just the results. Don't measure yourself only by outward success or recognition. Measure yourself by your consistency, your resilience, your daily commitment to being just a little better, a little stronger, a little calmer than you were yesterday. Here's the ultimate truth. Mastery is not about reaching a state where nothing touches you ever again. It's about becoming so resilient, so aware, and so deeply trained that no matter what touches you, you know how to return to your center. You know how to recover, reset, and rise again and again. And this journey never ends. But that's what makes it beautiful. Every day, you have another chance to deepen your practice. Every challenge becomes another opportunity to sharpen your mind. Every failure becomes another lesson that strengthens your foundation. So carry this mindset like a warrior. Walk your path not with the arrogance of someone who thinks they've arrived, but with the quiet determination of someone who knows they are always growing. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes you alive. Because at the end of the day, the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. The goal is to walk the path of mastery every single day for the rest of your life, until the world itself bows not to your power, but to the depth of your presence, the clarity of your mind, and the unshakable strength of your spirit. 12. Leave behind the old self. Rebuild yourself into something greater. Listen carefully, because this may be the hardest truth yet. If you truly want to become the person who acts as if nothing bothers them, if you want to walk through life with calm mastery, you must be willing to let go of the old version of yourself. Most people stay stuck not because they lack potential, but because they keep dragging around their old identity. They cling to their past stories. I'm just someone with a short temper. I've always been anxious. I'm the kind of person who overthinks everything. I can't help but get frustrated when people push me. And as long as they keep holding on to that story, they stay trapped in it. But here's the truth. You are not your past. You are not your old patterns, your old reactions, your old limitations. You are what you choose to become, right now, today, in this very moment. To walk the path of mastery, you must be willing to shed the old skin. You must be willing to say, that version of me may have been reactive, easily shaken, easily provoked, but I no longer serve that version. I no longer answer to that identity. I am stepping into something greater. Rebuilding yourself is not easy. It means facing your weaknesses head on. It means admitting to yourself where you've been giving away your power. It means taking radical responsibility for your growth. No more blaming the world. No more making excuses. No more saying, that's just how I am. Here's how you start this transformation. Identify the habits that no longer serve you. What reactions, thought patterns, or emotional triggers are draining your strength? Write them down. Make them visible. You cannot change what you refuse to face. Create a new mental blueprint. Decide with clarity who you want to become. How does that version of you act under pressure? How does that version of you carry themselves when challenged? How do they respond when life tries to shake them? Visualize it in detail. Start acting from your future self. Don't wait until you feel ready or perfectly healed. Start behaving as that stronger, calmer, more disciplined version of yourself today. Every time you catch yourself slipping into old habits, remind yourself, that's not who I am anymore. Surround yourself with growth. Be in environments, relationships, and conversations that reinforce your transformation. Let go of anything or anyone that keeps dragging you back into old patterns. Growth requires space. Be patient, but relentless. Understand that rebuilding yourself is not instant. You will face resistance from your own mind. You will have moments where the old self tries to pull you back. That's okay. Keep going. Keep choosing the higher path, one decision at a time. And here's the powerful part. Every time you choose the new self over the old one, you strengthen that identity. Every time you remain calm when you would have exploded, every time you stay focused when you would have spiraled, every time you let go when you would have clung, you are rewiring your very being. In time, the transformation becomes natural. The calmness you once had to force becomes your resting state. The strength you once had to summon becomes who you are. The old self falls away, and what remains is someone refined, sharpened, and elevated beyond what you thought possible. But you must be willing to let go. You must be willing to say goodbye to the small, reactive version of yourself and rise into the person you were meant to be. That is the essence of true mastery. Not just learning techniques, but becoming someone new. So today I challenge you. Leave behind what no longer serves you. Break free from the identity that keeps you small. Step into the version of you that acts, walks, speaks, and lives with unshakable presence. Because once you rebuild yourself into someone greater, you no longer just act like nothing bothers you. You become the kind of person who is truly, deeply, profoundly unbothered. And that power will radiate into every part of your life. 13. Understand that power comes from stillness, not force. Listen closely, because this is one of the most misunderstood truths of all. Real power does not come from force, from aggression, or from domination. Real power comes from stillness, the kind of calm, centered, grounded stillness that holds steady no matter how loud the world becomes. Most people live in constant noise. Their minds are busy. Their emotions are racing. Their reactions are quick. They think that if they just push harder, yell louder, hustle more intensely, they will control their life and force everything into place. But what they don't realize is that the more they chase, the more they scatter their energy. The more they react, the more they lose control. The more they fight, the weaker they actually become. Why? Because force is external, but stillness is internal. Force relies on pushing, on effort, on trying to bend the world to your will. Stillness relies on presence, on awareness, on knowing that your true strength comes from within, from the mind you've trained, the emotions you've mastered, the self you've built. Let me make this clear. Stillness is not passivity. It is not doing nothing, and it is not weakness. Stillness is the fierce, unshakable state that allows you to act wisely instead of blindly. It's what gives you the patience to wait for the right moment, the clarity to see through the chaos, and the discipline to act with precision instead of wasting energy. Think of the greatest martial artists, the greatest warriors, the greatest thinkers. Did they waste their strength throwing punches at shadows? Did they drain their energy reacting to every slight, every insult, every challenge? Number, they stayed calm, quiet, composed. And when the time came to move, they moved with devastating focus and effectiveness. Here's how you cultivate stillness in your own life. Create inner space. Take time every day to sit in silence. No phone, no distractions, no noise. Learn to be alone with your thoughts. Watch them, observe them, but don't follow them. This builds mental space, the foundation of stillness. Respond, don't react. When something triggers you, whether it's a challenge, a criticism, or a stressor, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what's the wisest, most effective move here? Choose your action carefully instead of just reacting on impulse. Preserve your energy. Stop wasting your strength on meaningless battles. Not every opinion needs a response. Not every conflict deserves your attention. Hold your energy close and use it only where it truly matters. Root yourself in presence. Practice being fully here, now. Don't live in the regrets of the past or the anxieties of the future. When you're present, your mind sharpens. Your awareness heightens. You see clearly and you act cleanly. Stillness transforms you into someone powerful, not because you force the world to obey you, but because you are no longer disturbed by the world. You move from a place of depth, not surface. You act from wisdom, not emotion. You lead yourself rather than being led by everything around you. And here's the most incredible part. When you embody stillness, others feel it. They sense your calm, your centeredness, your quiet power. Without you needing to prove anything, you naturally become a leader, an anchor, a force people respect. Because true strength doesn't announce itself loudly. It reveals itself quietly, through presence, through steadiness, through mastery. So remember, power is not in how hard you push, but in how deeply you are grounded. It's not in how much you control others, but in how completely you control yourself. Commit to the path of stillness. Build the kind of strength that does not waver, that does not scatter, that does not need to force anything, because once you possess that, you become untouchable. You become the kind of person who no longer acts like nothing bothers them, because nothing truly can. 14. Become the master of your own spirit, not a slave to the world. Now listen closely, because this final lesson takes you even deeper. You've learned how to master your reactions, sharpen your mind, protect your energy, and build inner stillness. But there's something even more profound you must understand. The ultimate mastery is not just of your mind or body. It is the mastery of your spirit. Most people walk through life as slaves, not in chains, not in cages, but slaves to the world around them. They are enslaved by the opinions of others. They are enslaved by their fears of failure. They are enslaved by their attachments, their addictions, their need for constant approval, their desperate hunger to fit in, to be liked, to be seen. They let the world define them. You're worthy if you succeed. You're valuable if you're loved. You're important if you're recognized. And because they believe these lies, they are constantly tossed around like leaves in the wind, anxious, reactive, desperate, never at peace. But a true master is free. Why? Because they have taken back the authority over their own spirit. They no longer let the world tell them who they are or what they're worth. They no longer look outward for validation. They draw everything they need from within. Mastering your spirit means this. You know who you are when no one is watching. You are not defined by titles, wealth, or reputation. You have a quiet inner knowing, a grounded sense of identity that no one can take away. You do not chase approval or avoid rejection. You walk your path with integrity, whether others praise you or criticize you, follow you or leave you. Your compass is internal, not external. You rise above fear. You understand that fear is part of life, but you do not let it govern your decisions. You face it, walk with it, and move through it, because you trust your own strength. You remain anchored in your highest values. You don't bend your character to please others. You don't sacrifice your principles for temporary gains. You live with purpose, discipline, and honor. And here's the beautiful truth. When you master your own spirit, you become someone who is truly unbothered. Not because you ignore the world, but because you no longer need it to complete you. You walk through life whole, full, steady, radiating a strength that comes from deep, deep inside. Let me remind you, you were not born to be a puppet on the strings of other people's opinions. You were not put on this earth to waste your days in fear, insecurity, or endless comparison. You were born to rise above the noise, the chaos, the smallness, and to claim the fullness of your own being. This does not mean you will never face challenge or pain. It means that when life tests you, when you face rejection, betrayal, loss, or difficulty, you will not be broken by it. You will stand tall, centered, and resilient because your foundation is built on something no one can touch. Every great master in history, every true warrior, every spiritual teacher, every deep thinker, they all understood this. Real freedom, real power, real peace come when you master yourself at the level of the spirit. So today, I challenge you not just to train your body, not just to sharpen your mind, but to elevate your spirit. Choose to no longer be a slave to the world. Choose to no longer let circumstances or people dictate your peace. Choose to rise every single day as the master of your own life, your own energy, your own soul. Because once you do, you no longer need to act as if nothing bothers you. You become the kind of person who walks through life untouched, undefeated, unshaken. a true master of your spirit, and a living example of what it means to be free. You have walked with me through these powerful lessons not of just fighting technique or physical power, but of the inner path. Understand this: the ultimate fight is not out there in the world. It's not against your rivals, your critics, or even your failures. The ultimate fight is the one within yourself, against your own ego, your own reactions, your own fears, your own restless mind. If you have truly listened, you now know the path to mastery is not about pretending that nothing bothers you. It's about becoming the kind of person who is truly unshaken by the noise of life. It's about building a mind like a fortress, a heart like still water, a spirit like an unshakable mountain. When you master yourself, you no longer need to force anything. You no longer need to chase approval, to react to every challenge, to fight every battle. You stand in calm, quiet strength, and the world feels your presence. So I leave you with this. Train your mind every day. Guard your energy fiercely. Walk with quiet confidence. Stay humble in your growth. And most of all, master your spirit. Because when you master yourself, you have already won the greatest battle of all. Remember, the goal is not to escape life's tests. The goal is to rise above them. And once you do, you will walk through this world untouched, undefeated, unshaken. Not because nothing bothers you, but because nothing owns you anymore. Be water, be calm, be free. Now go and live as the master you were born to become. Would you like me to also write a YouTube video description and strong hashtags to help this video reach the right audience?